Hello, everyone. God, why are we all off? We're all like
stop it.
moved around. Okay, well, welcome everyone. While I shift all of our things around to tonight's episode of Oodvin. My name is Maxwell Williams. As always, I am your host, your DM. The big brain behind the world, just desperately trying to keep things together. And I play a whole bunch of cool, quirky, interesting characters, including the ever studious and innovative scientist, Rutha.
It's me.
I am not used to this format. It is me.
I know. We're all in different spots now.
Ruh-roh. Hi, my name is Julie Risto, and I play Octavia Lagazur. She is our swashbuckling warlock, half orc. I can say words well. And she's currently doing okay. Out of everyone, she kind of had the least negative effects from our guy who serves Hunt from last session, so she's doing fine.
It's me.
Believe it's blue.
It's me. Yay. Hi, my name is Connor McGinley, and I play Feloy, the Modron Wizard, the guy who makes walls and stuff and doesn't attack that much. And we just learned that there's a Candyland wiki, so peruse that at your leisure. Feloy is at 7 hit points, and he's currently in a bubble, so we'll see how that goes.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dane Brancato, and I play Zephyr Windstrider, the Air Genasi College of Swords bard of the group. A little fun fact about Zephyr this week is if he was in the real world, his favorite Candyland piece would be the blue gingerbread man.
Hag yourself, I'm Plumpy. Hello everybody, my name is Aaron Borden. I play the character Februm Cask, the Simic hybrid blood fighter. That was my fact of the day, I already said it.
Februm would be Plumpy.
And
for no particular reason.
And I'm Drew Borden. I play Aldrich Renask, the armor artificer, human. Honestly, Al's favorite character from Candyland gotta be Grandma Nut.
Oh no.
Grandma Nut!
Oh, it's gotta be the older.
It's another old lady for him to woo.
Gotta be.
Grandma Nut sounds like she has a great success rate.
Yeah.
Okay, with that,
Wow.
let's do a quick little recap.
Everyone make a dex save.
Okay. Good call.
You know, Meteor Swarm has a casting
Except
range
for
of 1 mile, so...
Except for Octavia, you make a strength save.
I can't believe that came out of my mouth.
Anyway, let's get into tonight's episode with a quick little recap first. So our party of adventurers, former students of Ravensight Academy, have ventured out into the waste in order to collect the planar shards, 6 very powerful artifacts that once maintained planes of their own existence, now scattered to the wind. The party believes that with these shards, they will be able to essentially stop the end of the world and stop the virus known as the Devouring from fully consuming the last remnants of humanity. The party has already collected several of these shards, specifically the Fae, the Primordial, and the Material Shard, through various means of friendship, conquering battles, and beating people up, as you do. The party is currently on their way to collect the 4th shard, the Constructed Shard, which is unfortunately already in the hands of Rutha, as she waits patiently at its location for the party to arrive. On their way, the party went through a deep cavern, one of the only safer routes to get to the Construct Shard from the Twilight Sanctuary, where they used to be. One sec. The party, halfway through this ravine, ends up encountering not someone that this party knows, but maybe someone that these players know, that goes by the name Gorn, and in this incarnation is Gorn the Hero Hunter. He roughs up several members of the party, shooting several necrotic blasts from an antimatter rifle, bringing some of our party members close while leaving others unscathed. As his hit points are depleted and running low, he takes the Staff of Power off of his back, cracking it over his knee, and disappearing in an explosive radius of force energy. But with that, as the dust settles from the blast of force, and as most of our party members, I think everyone is still on their feet.
I think so.
Except for Winnie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. The dust begins to settle as you all kind of reevaluate the situation and get your bearings. And so we'll jump in right there, right post battle. Gorn has disappeared. There's no trace of his body.
Are we injured? You mentioned wanting to do that due to large amounts of damage rather than, like, dropping to 0. Which is fair. I just want to make sure.
I will say, most of you are feeling it. This is probably a situation where you're not going to be able to travel much for the rest of today, at least effectively. But with after Winnie gets back on her feet and you start getting some healing done, any kind of broken bones, I'm sure at least one of you has a broken rib.
I wonder who.
You're all definitely feeling the effects of the battle, and a rest is gonna have to happen soon. But nothing specifically to note at the moment.
Okay. So, as a point of order, because I didn't bring this up last time because it would have added to things, but this explosion happens, brings Feloy to really low health, and then this protective metallic orb springs to life around him. And,
See a giant marble where Feloy was? Or is it like
basically, it's semi-transparent. So you can kind of see through it.
Is everyone okay?
So yeah, he dispels it.
Feloy? Are you alright?
More or less.
Okay.
I am able to move still.
Good. Yeah.
Dreams feel pain.
No, I don't have pain programming, but I am painfully aware that I can hardly move properly, so...
Well, I suppose we should try to set up some sort of camp. I don't like staying here in the ravine because we are so painfully exposed, but if there's some way we can make the best of our situation, I suggest we do so quickly.
How far does the ravine go? Feel you've been down here before, right?
Yes. In a manner of speaking. You said it would take like a day to go through the ravine. So where did we get stopped?
No.
Like almost perfectly halfway.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we are only about halfway through. So,
Right.
if we choose to continue, we should move forward. It would not be prudent to walk back to where we started. But then again, it is also several hours of movement that may not be possible. So perhaps a short break before we continue on, and then hopefully we'll be out of the ravine by now.
Well, we have to move these rocks anyways. To get
Well-
through, so
Well, before I was interrupted, did have thought of how to traverse them.
all right. Well, can you still do it?
Of course. Would you like to go now?
How's? I guess now is better than we should get started
We should at least get past
getting
the
through them at
rocks.
least.
Okay. Then I am going to... Sure I can... Since... Yeah, okay. I'm gonna cast Pass Wall a few times.
Yep.
Because we
Cast it the
discussed it's like barely tall enough if we're in the convertible.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of a. You tuck the side mirrors in, and Octavio, you're probably like riding kind of low in the convertible so that you can keep it moving.
Yeah.
I think unlike his other spells, this one, like when he pulls out his little tablet, he like traces like what looks to be like a tunnel, and kind of shades it and draws like the outer parts of it roughly, and then does like a line or two of command afterward.
Beautifully.
Where is my watering this tunnel?
Um,
No.
he's just making this is
I got you.
this is
I got you.
It's close. I get what you're saying. It's closer to like Wile E. Coyote type stuff,
Oh, okay. Okay.
where he like
Well-
paints a tunnel
Paints the tunnel and then it's there. Yeah.
and then it's and then Roadrunner can go through it.
I love it. He like looks and then smacks against it because he can't.
Yeah.
Zephyr tries to walk through it.
Before
Zephyr,
you put
I'm-
the command
I'm
in,
not done with it.
Yeah. All right, we're driving this car.
Driving through the rock.
yeah, it takes you let's 2 castings probably
Okay.
to make it to the other end. It's a slow moving, and there are a couple of moments where those of you without as much magical experience do question the constructive nature of the hundreds of pounds of rocks that are over your head that don't seem to be held up by anything. But eventually you make it to the other side of this wall. See some more scattered rocks on this side that must have fallen from the top of the ravine. But nothing immediately seems to be putting you in danger.
All right. My suggestion is that we make camp at where the rock wall meets the wall of the ravine, so that we have only one point of contact if someone were to try and attack us. I can take first shift. I'm doing okay, although I do need to rest because I do feel quite exhausted, but not nearly as much as the rest of you. So
I can take
Take
these.
second if need be. Oh, if you got it now, I'll go third.
I think I'm feeling a little healthier than you look. So.
Is this not a short rest?
I thought we needed to do a long rest.
Okay, well, my proposal is that we do a short rest here and then we get out of the ravine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
No,
fine.
But-
Probably smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that works.
We can do that.
I can watch during the short rest. The rest of you, take a nap.
Fantastic. Octavia, can you go ahead and make me a perception check?
You got it, boss.
Can I help her out?
Yeah, if you want to be watching as well.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Like,
I would say the only person that wouldn't be able to help watch is Winnie, and that's because Winnie needs to focus on helping people with their injuries.
I don't want to like dogpile this perception check, but I feel like Feloy specifically keeps watch almost always in the desert.
Mm-hmm.
I got a 22.
Fantastic. Philo, do you want to make a separate one?
I'll just do a separate. For my own sake. Wow, that's remarkably bad. 11.
Oh no!
Oh,
He's tired.
You got smacked.
But I did have to make the check to know that.
A little
Mhm,
shell-shocked.
You are trying to pay attention, Feloy, to the best of your abilities. But it has been a while since you have been brought down this low. You're usually very careful. You're usually like your physical body doesn't actually take that much damage that often. And being like back into this like big combat encounter is bringing back some like locked old memories from the fall, from when the Devouring came and from when the constructed plane collapsed. And so you're kind of lost in thought as the pain kind of short circuits bits and pieces of your body. Just distracting you just a bit.
Mhm.
Octavia, you know, you're feeling good. You're feeling sprite. So you are pretty attentive. You do notice there doesn't seem to be much going on in the ravine itself. It is almost eerily quiet at times. The silence is only ever broken by the falling of rocks somewhere deep in the ravine, but it echoes, bouncing off the walls. You do, on occasion, kind of look up, and while it is hard to see, you do see the motions of large constructed creatures at the tops of the ravine, meandering about, occasionally knocking bits of dust and pebbles down in your direction, but not seeming to care since you are hundreds of feet down in this chasm.
Cool. Cool.
So yeah, if anyone has anything specifically they want to do, we can figure that out now. But if not, everyone can take a short rest, roll some hit dice. Winnie will go around and fix up people's injuries. She will probably neglect her own injuries for a second, unless somebody tells her to pay attention to herself.
Yeah, Zephyr would probably do that. If not attempt whatever cure wounds will help me cure.
Cool.
But with that, Tide Strider's waiting right outside. It does seem to be a little damaged from the explosion. It didn't take a whole bunch because of its location. It was a little bit farther out. But you've
Fucked.
you've had a fender bender.
That bastard, if I see him again, I'm going to stab him. For real this time, he's not going to be able to run.
I have a feeling you probably will. I have
Oh,
a feeling
I-
we all probably will.
Very much so plan on it. Like, he
Was
hurt my
even?
car.
Like, he just. Does anyone know who he was? Like, did he say his name?
I just assumed he was working with Rutha.
He did. Well, did he say just Hunter of Heroes, or did he say his name was Gorn?
Did he even introduce himself?
Did
I
he
don't
even
remember.
say he
I
was
don't
the
think
Hunter
he
of
said
Heroes?
who he
just
I
was.
don't
kinda
think he
shot
said
at
who he
us.
was. He just kind of shot.
Well,
I don't know if
he said
I don't think.
He said something at the end.
he said
Yeah,
like
he referred to
your
us.
kind, like I hunt your kind or something.
I don't remember.
His name
Sorry,
is
all.
Probably Hunter.
Would
No.
Eloy know? Is that fair to
Yeah,
think?
would
No.
Would
Go
any
ahead and
of
make a
us-
history check for me.
Okay.
Like Feloy is probably the only person that might.
Too bad Brad's not here. Brad probably would know.
Brad probably would.
17.
Yeah.
Can I call him? Oh no, it's an iPod Touch. It's not a.
17.
Well, okay. How about this? Would
Mm-hmm.
would anyone have known who the people that did this? Like, was this public knowledge that this group did it specifically?
This would not have been like widespread public knowledge.
Gotcha.
Your upper echelon and anyone who would have been close to the other planar leaders would have known, or like kind of heard here and there. I would say Feloy. There's like a rough recognition of
Yeah.
Gorn's description.
I would say Crookton probably never said names, never talked about too much about the group. But
Yeah, I
he
would-
would probably infer that it would have to have been one of them.
like this individual is like way too powerful to be anyone from this like generation.
Yeah.
This
Mhm.
like Feloy can easily determine that this is a person from the past that has somehow either like extended their life force or was petrified or put into sanctuary and has now recently come out. This is a person from your era.
Hmm.
And a powerful person from your era.
Yeah.
But you don't necessarily know exactly who they are.
Yeah. So I would expect that they are from a time long past, given their amount of power. I don't precisely know their identity, but the people that were hunting the gods are quite powerful. And perhaps without the gods to hunt, one of them has turned hunting the strongest people they can find.
Well, that's
You'd think?
rude.
Do you think if we ask Erdusk when we see him next, maybe he'd have some more info?
If he was among the group that Erdusk fought with, then I'm sure he would know.
Well, hopefully we meet up with him soon.
Erdusk also wasn't quite sure where everybody ended up though.
Yeah, but maybe he'd at least have some information.
Hey,
like
I'm
if we
sure
say-
he'd
I
recognize a
asked him
description.
before.
If we say
Let's
a
see.
bugbear with a gun,
I was gonna
I-
say.
Yeah. I imagine that
Probably
would be
wasn't
fairly
too many of those.
So
I
I
type
feel
did-
like
of
that
things.
narrows it down quite a bit.
I did talk to him. The only two it could have been, we know it's not
we
we
know
know
it's
it's
not
not
Faulkner.
Faulkner because that's
Oh yes, the
We met
bone
him.
men we met at
Yes.
the zombie city.
Who
Margot
Octavia promised her bones to.
is the general of Blazidon's army.
Margot, you said?
Yes.
Hmm.
Akira and Gorn apparently went back to the material plane, but he wasn't quite sure where they ended up. And then Reiki, he wasn't sure at all.
So one of those
Yeah.
people.
So it's either Akira, Gorn, or Reiki, unless Margot would.
You'd think that somebody who is
That person-
Blazidon's general would not stray too far from
Yeah.
Blazidon's side.
Yeah.
Yeah, or would have an army with them.
But regardless, I hope they don't show their face again because I will seriously kick their ass.
Let's
See
just
what they
hope he
did to
wasn't
my
a scout
car?
for Rutha.
Well,
That's also
like, Petting the Tide Strider, like, look at my baby.
my baby.
Perseus looking at her like,
Bitch, I'm here.
I'm right here. She like picks Perseus up and it's like, look at our baby. Yeah.
Perseus conveys the feeling that it's loud and it moves too fast.
Yeah. She's like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. We should get moving though.
Yes.
We don't
Yes.
have a lot of time to spare. So
Axel, Iris, you guys got hit with that blast too. You guys, like, I just want to touch base with you guys. Just want to make sure you guys are good too.
I mean,
Your
like,
guys' thoughts. Your input's important, so.
for the most part, we kind of just like stood by the car and like waited if y'all needed anything. Ned kind of like ran into there. But like, you know, like we kind of vibe for the most part. We're totally up to like battle with y'all, but we're not like, we don't want to step on any toes or anything.
I appreciate you staying where it's mostly safe. No need to step in unless we ask for it, alright?
Yeah, of course. Just remember, we are here.
Yeah.
Lily would
I'm
kill
also
me if
worried
anything
about
happened to
something
you.
happens to you guys. Yeah. I'd rather not bring back Lily and then explain that to her.
I do understand that. Mhm.
We're all in agreement that we're like, we don't really want to
Yes.
use them because we don't want to have to explain anything to Lily when we bring her back.
Yes. Speaking of Lily, we have everybody that we need for that.
No. We're still
Well,
waiting
not
on-
with us.
Well,
Yeah.
Is
Yes,
there
in that aspect.
anything
Right?
I can do to help?
well,
You
we've
can get the Fenzia here.
yeah, we've talked to Mphira. And she'll converse with Urdusk. Afenzia would be helpful, but we would probably have to strike up a deal.
Well, Al, you got any more legs to offer?
I have
Zephyr,
one.
Takes.
I have one.
I was
Zephyr takes a
fucking
step
joking.
back. Zephyr takes a step back, like cups his hands over his mouth, and just like points his head up and kind of shouts, "Oh boy, I sure wish there was someone here to strike a deal with."
It echoes eerily into the distance. There's a light rumble in the ravine.
You also make the echo by yourself.
If this was Lily, you would have been like slapped 10 feet back for
Yeah.
yelling in this ravine. But
Octavia,
instead, Feloy just like looks at you like, you probably shouldn't make that much noise.
No, it's Winnie who smacks the back of his head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I feel like Winnie would
No,
be on the
she
same
said
page
it.
to a
She,
degree.
she
No,
said
but
she
she
it.
said
just said when he
She
smacked
literally
his
just said
head.
he
Never
smacked
mind,
the back of
I
his
didn't see
head.
that, yeah.
So I will
That
advocate
definitely
for
happens.
her.
Yeah.
Um,
Because if she didn't, Octavia would.
hmm
Octavia turns to him. "Me?"
What are y'all's passive perceptions?
14.
Cool.
16.
16.
11.
Cool. Great.
I don't have the worst. Nice.
It's 22.
Ooh.
22.
It is 100% Zephyr.
As y'all are as Octavia is shushing Zephyr and telling him to shut the fuck up. Can you shut the
He's
fuck
just getting beat by the other two.
Feloy, you kind of like glance down at the ground and you notice like there's just like a pebble just tumbling back and forth. Like something large is heading in your direction.
Now,
seems to
is
be
it
causing-
constant? Is it like footsteps or is it like rolling? Like, does it like stop?
It is it seems to be pretty consistent.
So
very
it's rolling or it's many.
Oh.
as it seems to be kind of like shifting back and forth. As something is, it does seem to be becoming more and more intense.
See anything?
Does he tell
Uh,
us?
You kind of like step out of like this little wall nook that you've found.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay. A real one.
A real one.
23.
You kind of look down the cavern, and while like a good amount of like your vision is blocked from looking straight down because you've got that huge wall right there, you kind of look up towards the edges of the wall, and you don't see anything actively moving, but your attention is drawn to, you would have to say, like at least a 10 to 20 foot hole in the wall that seems to be like perfectly cut, and then there is a similar hole on the other side of the cavern. But you got a good, it's like a good distance. You're kind of like squinting with your like long seeing goggles and
Mhm.
stuff. But you see just like the faint bit of light dust as these holes were newly created.
Uh-huh. Trying to... Oh my gosh. Okay, so... we should probably go with as much haste as this thing can muster, like immediately.
Like
Everybody
right
in
now.
the car.
All right, everyone in.
Oh, okay.
Leave nothing behind. Strap yourselves in. I
The
am
rest
leaving as
of you are starting to like feel some vibrations of something moving through the earth itself.
Yeah,
Can I pass
Octavia.
without a trace us, even
Sure,
if it,
sure.
just in case. As we all
Now-
go to the Tide Strider.
If
The
I'm
Tide
ripping
Strider's
the
not
engine,
on the ground, right?
No,
it's
it is.
levitating.
It does hover a bit. It does kick up a little dust here and there, but it does
Okay.
levitate to an extent.
Yeah.
I guess I'm metagaming a little bit. Would I have an inclination about what this is?
I think.
I think there's enough
I think
context
Feloy
of like
does.
there's this big burrowing creature. It probably has tremor sense.
Yeah.
So he doesn't need to know what it is. He just needs to know you probably should get off the ground because it can detect that.
Alright, everybody in the car.
Yes, everyone in, and as soon as everyone is like relatively in the car, she's taking off.
And I
Everyone, jumps in the car, piling in quickly. Even like before people get their belts buckled or strapped in, Octavia puts her foot on the gas, and
Floor.
for good reason too, as the wall behind you suddenly erupts as a gargantuan purple worm erupts out, going kind of straight up where your party just was.
Oh my god.
As it tunnels up into the air, and then it begins falling down in your direction.
Hit the cube.
Octavia,
Yeah.
do you have proficiency in land vehicles?
It just says vehicles water.
Oh.
Oh, the Tide
Ooh.
Strider
I have
counts.
proficiency in
The
land.
Tide Strider works as both. We're fine by that.
Oh, good.
For this purposes. So go ahead
Whew.
and make me a dexterity driving check. So use your proficiency in your dexterity.
Okay.
As this purple worm is beginning to fall in your direction.
I'll give you guidance, like hand on shoulder, like just go.
So
If-
if my, like, for example, my dexterity has my proficiency on it, which is just a +7, that's what I have to add.
Yep.
Okay. Just double checking. And you gave me guidance, you said?
Yeah, D4.
A D4. Ugh, where's my triangle? Okay. 3 plus 18 is 21. Plus 7 is 28.
Fantastic. As you like bend the car essentially around some of these rocks, just Tokyo drifting as
Deja vu.
as the shadow of this worm is slowly encroaching on your party. You hit the gas, and by just the skin of your teeth, the Tide Strider pushes through, goes kind of up a little ramp of rocks as this purple worm falls with a thud right behind you, kicking up dust everywhere. The Tide Strider makes contact, not necessarily with the ground, but the levitational forces kind of connect as you speed off and just see the tail of this gargantuan entity flip back up in the air before tunneling back underground.
Octavia, like,
Oh.
her knuckles are on the wheel, like, so tight. She's like wearing down the leather on the wheel. She's like, is everyone okay?
Nobody fell off
Yes.
this time.
No, everyone good?
I think we're doing all right.
Good! What the fuck was that?
I don't know, and I don't want to find out.
It looked like a large purple worm.
Yes,
I'm
I know
not
what
sure
it
if it
looks
has
like.
a specific name.
I was like, Feloy, this is definitely one of this is a notable creature.
Okay.
You would you had your inclinations before, but actually
I've
laying
had
eyes
my-
on it.
I've had my illusion eaten by a purple worm before.
Oh yeah. It's
Hmm.
not a fun creature to run into, especially like one of this size. There's the possibility that it just swallowed the Tide Strider whole with all of you in
Yeah.
it.
It is just called a purple worm then. They burrow underground very fast. And they can eat things like this car whole.
Well, it's a good thing that we are leaving it very much so behind us.
Good call, not taking a full sleep there, Feloy.
I'm
That could've
glad it
been
I'm-
very bad.
I'm glad it panned out in this instance.
All right, well, I'm just gonna continue until we are
Yeah,
out of
just
the
keep
ravine
going.
and we can
Yeah.
reconvene
Of course.
reconvene outside of the ravine. Good. All right. Continuing. just like awkwardly like stops talking, and she's like, it takes her a good like half an hour for her hands to like unstick from the wheel.
Yeah.
Like that first 30 minutes, there is like every little shifting of rocks kind of like draws your attention to it, as it believing that this worm could just be coming out of the wall at you at any moment. But after the first hour of getting back into travel, you know the Tidestrider moves pretty quickly. It would be difficult for most creatures to keep up with you at this pace.
She finally like starts to unglue her hands, like.
I would like to note this is the longest, since the city fell, this is the longest that Zephyr has been quiet. Like, not a sound.
I can totally picture Winnie sitting next to Zephyr and going, "You want to talk about it?"
So, what are you gonna say?
He's pale as a ghost, eyes wide, just like slowly shakes his head to the side.
Maybe we'll find a different way to call to Offensia.
Maybe she'd want the worm. All we have to do is kick Zephyr into the ravine and wrangle it for her.
I mean, that would be really cool, I'm not gonna lie. But even I don't think I could do that.
Probably not wise.
Yeah.
The rest of your travel goes by relatively uneventfully. There's a handful of like small creatures that you end up interacting with. I would wager to say that at one point there is a very like monstrous, almost sludge-like looking creature that's taking up the majority of the ravine that just gets run over.
Oh.
There's just a little like splatter. Octavia, you turn on the windshield wipers.
Is that a callback to the slime we fought in the sewers?
It fell here.
It's the same one. Hey
We
guys.
wanna talk about it?
Long way from home, buddy.
It does get a little darker before you reach the very end of the ravine. But with a little bit of extra travel, you do see the slope begin to go upwards. The walls seem to lower down around you, and you exit the ravine into another desolate wasteland, a desert with dunes and remnants of an ancient civilization that has been long forgotten. There are a handful of buildings around. At first, they seem just like small shacks here and there. But if you end up venturing into any of them, you realize that this is just the tips of thousands of feet tall towers.
Wow.
Feloy, you've reached the outskirts of the material stronghold for the constructs. This is where it was common for people of the material plane to interact with constructs and for artificers to study and learn. A lot of knowledge sharing was done in this area and in several towns that were outside of the entrance to the constructed plane. There are fond memories of looking up at the tops of these buildings that you now see have been completely covered and buried in sand.
I think, would it be fair to assume that we find maybe one of the more constructed buildings to like long rest in?
Yeah. Kind of like the observation deck of one of these towers. You're able to pull the Tidestrider around, kind of tie it off, dock it, put it in park. And it's this beautiful
Cylindrical.
cylindrical room that has these thick glass panels surrounding the whole tower, allowing you to kind of keep an eye out on anything around you.
Is there like telescope or something? I don't know if it's that kind of.
Go ahead and roll me a d100.
Okay.
Is this just like one big room in this tower?
77.
Pulling some memories from your past, you kind of venture towards the center of this room that seems to be kind of sectioned off. There's a door that the lock has long since rusted. But inside is this beautifully pristine, like astral telescope.
What? That's weird.
Lord.
Hello.
Started playing Slime Sickle. I don't know what that was. I was scrolling through my email and my phone just started blasting Slime Sickle.
So yeah, I think Feloy walks in here. Everyone's getting their bearings, but he goes like directly to this middle area. And I think he just looks through the telescope on the off chance that it is not broken in multiple places.
You look through it, and it's difficult to get a clear image at first.
Mm-hmm.
You do a little bit of adjusting here and there. There are some cracks in some of the glass lenses, even with the magical enchantments that were placed on this construct hundreds and hundreds of years ago to keep it in functional order. Many of the runes have fallen to disrepair. But even with its cracks and with its scratches, you look through and can peer into the distance. It's kind of like, it's got like that one little like spider crack at the corner, but the other part of the image is like nice and pristine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he's very like wistfully just looking at the sky, like he probably did at one point before. I'm trying to get creative. I think he stops looking, and Modron don't cry, but I think maybe you can see like in his eyes there's like text just running through this glass lens. Not crying so much as he's not able to control his thoughts like he's normally able to. They're just running rampant through his eyes.
Friend. Aw.
As he kind of just looks outside.
Yeah. The rest of you get nicely settled. You notice that Feloy kind of makes his way directly over to this corner room. For as like sand buried this room is, it seems to be in pretty pristine condition. It catches a couple of you by surprise at first, but there do seem to be some unseen servants that have been permanently enchanted into this space, that occasionally you see like a ratty broom that's got a handful of bristles still on it is being used to sweep away as much sand as possible. Just the remnants of enchantments that once existed and served hundreds of people daily are now catering to an abandoned building.
And suddenly I'm sad.
It's a good thing they don't have intelligence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Drift Away starts playing, and I cry.
Zephyr, turn that off!
I can't. It's doing it on its own.
It's on autoplay.
it's like geo-synced to this tower. Uh, yeah, no, I think Octavia probably is like, I am very exhausted, so if it's all the same to anyone else, I am going to go to sleep.
Sure.
I can handle first watch.
I would like to not have to do watch tonight, so.
Fair.
I can take one of the watches also.
And I'll take the last one.
Has to get up for his oats.
I have to.
Mm-hmm.
Have to make it right.
I think before we go to bed and take a long rest, Febrim's going to pull Zephyr aside.
Oh no.
Hey, did you gotta say, are you working on anything right now?
Not currently. Why? What's up?
Cool. Can we just like away from everyone else, just real quick?
Yeah.
I want to have a
they're
little
trying to
talk
get
about
past-
being
I
quiet.
This is how we whisper. He not really like pulling away from everyone just to like be secretive, just like pulling them into their own like space essentially.
Yeah.
You could either move to the other side of the room, but there is also kind of like the deck area, kind of like an overhang, with the wind kind of lightly blowing, picks up a little sand in the distance. Smells dry, but somehow slightly sweet as well.
Yeah, he'll probably pull him just like out to that area. Just be like, all right, I know it's been kind of a hectic couple of days, and you might have learned some new things about your past and your family. I was just, did you want to try to work on that? Try to see if you could tap into some of that? You've worked with altering the makeup of spells themselves. I know you mentioned learning some new things about possible capabilities, applications of the ability.
Yeah. What do you have in mind? What are you thinking?
He pulls out the eye stalk and is just like, I need you to put this on my back.
Oh.
Febrim, I'm no doctor.
What? But you know, all the capabilities are there. My biological form and my eye are perfectly capable of melding and working under the circumstances. I promise you, if this is something you want to work on, I am the best test subject. And I really do need some help. I'm not quite that flexible.
Okay.
I can't quite get my arms
You
back
make
there.
a lot of really good points. And I would like to help you. I would like to learn more about my abilities. But I have one problem.
Mm-hmm.
If something happens to you, something goes wrong, not only will the entire party be mad at me, but then Lily is going to kill me. I don't want to die again.
It's failure in this aspect. It's not going to do as much as you think it will be. I've set it up as much as I can to be a smooth transition. The most, if I've done my work correctly, then the most that will happen is we lose the stock. I might take some damage, but theoretically it shouldn't be anything bad.
Like our blood types are compatible.
Theoretically.
Fine.
All right. I'll do it. You just want me to like slap it on your back and magic, or I've never put
Can
an
you-
eye
can you
stalk
do
on
that?
someone
Well-
before.
Hey,
Well,
can you do that
preferably
magic
we
on my
can-
back?
I mean, I'm good at giving massages. I've been told I have the magic hands, but like,
Perhaps we could work with
Emma, go
tools, maybe, would be a good start. Maybe we could also get Al. I know he's got his all-purpose
Did someone say tools?
I'm sure he could whip some up for us.
all right. Al's probably better with his hands than I am anyway. So you go convince Al. I will try and program. I'll like get a feel for magic of the eye stalk or something. I don't know how this works, man.
I've already done my work with the blood transfusion and everything like that, so it should be fairly compatible with me already. It's just the matter of attaching it. And we can work off of
Noted.
the stump I still have from my tentacle.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, let's do it then.
Yeah, Febrim's gonna go grab Al.
Let's get witch doctrine.
Al, you wouldn't by chance happen to be able to whip us up some surgical tools?
Hold on. Let me check.
Sewing, leatherworking, maybe.
Oh, I have a leatherworker's
I'm
tool.
sure it could.
I have some leather tools on me. Yes, but those are more for like cutting and. Oh well, I guess that is pretty much search. Yeah, I can make something up.
Do you want to help us with a project, Al?
What kind of project?
Fun project. Zephyr's going
Surgery.
to be working on his innate abilities as a, what was it called again? I'm so bad with
Programmer.
program, as his programming,
Yes.
taking it into a different path, more biological.
And
Wants me to
you
slap an eye
need-
stalk on his back.
Oh yes, of course I can
Yes.
help with that. Yeah.
Why didn't you just start with that?
Yeah.
Oh, you should have led with that.
Sure.
Just a small sidebar as Axel and Iris are sitting with Octavia and Winnie, being like, should we be worried that the boys have all
No,
headed out?
I've long since stopped trying.
I think Axel is gonna do just gonna go check and like see what they're up to. Like y'all have fun, like continue eating dinner and stuff, and like Don't wait
Iris-
up on us.
I can
Octavia
see
makes and Perseus will get up and follow him.
I can totally see Iris giving him a look like, are you kidding?
Iris says like this to him. And he's like, but all the boys are going over there. Like,
Guys' night.
can I,
Guys, nine.
Iris, can I go hang
Axel,
out
you
with the
wanna come?
guys? And Iris is like, rolls her eyes. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Octavia sends Perseus to go stand on his shoulders.
Axel will come over and join y'all. So what are we doing?
Perfect.
Yeah, Axel comes up and like Febrim's got his head down and like Al's tools and stuff like that. And he walks up and is like, "What are you guys doing?" Febrim like whips around with a scalpel in his hand. Science, Axel.
Oh my god.
Jeez.
Can I help?
Doc Brown.
Of course, if
Yes,
you want to,
yes.
if you wish to observe or do what you can to help.
Yeah. I
Axel's help will be greatly appreciated. I don't want to mess this up, Feb.
We got this.
It'll be fine.
Do it.
Sees the eye stalk
It's
in your
only the
hand. That's like.
It's only the
You're
first
just
time I've
throwing it
done something
around
like
and it's
this
like
without my
limping
mother, and
crap.
we're not in the lab or anything like that. But
We're not in the
We'll be okay.
sanitary area, you know.
we're not in a sanitary area. We don't
It's
have
not
the
sterile.
professional. But we'll be fine, you know.
Axel, can
We
you
don't have
wish
the
a sterile
techno-
environment?
Actually, I think I can sterilize it.
I already used my wish for today, so like.
Yeah,
Fair,
probably for
fair.
the best.
Where do we want to
And-
do this?
I mean, like, we could probably like do it here-ish, right? Or do we need to like?
I have a
Should probably
feeling
do
that
it out on the balcony, so
If,
so they don't have to watch us hacksaw.
So
I-
maximum
only-
sand can get in.
if only we had a
right,
bed.
right.
If only we had a bed. I can.
I can levitate him and just kind of like keep him off the ground.
That's crazy.
Stop
I still
floating
haven't
away.
gotten an
Where
answer
are you
to
going?
What I'm doing here.
We
Which
need
role
your
am I-
hands.
what part am I playing?
You,
You
have
know,
the steady hands.
the tools, the steady hands, the
Oh yes, my
tool
steady hand.
expertise.
Yes.
You're a craftsman. It's in your blood.
You want me to do the surgery?
No,
gonna
no. Zephyr will be doing the surgery.
You want
No.
Zephyr to do the surgery?
You misunderstand. I will be
You misunderstand.
I will be doing the surgery on myself, on my back, and you just need to slap me with magic, and you just need to provide the tools. Oh, now it makes sense.
Okay. So who's
Surgery always
Doing
requires a lot
surgery.
of people just kind of around
Oh,
the body,
man.
not the body.
If only we had someone who is notoriously good at sewing things.
Oh my goodness.
Right,
That would
of
be-
course.
If only.
if only. Anyways, so who's sewing?
I guess I am.
who's going to be who's done similar work like this the most? Who's
We could
going to
always
be the
wait
best
until
in
Lily
the
gets here.
scenario?
I put a
Well,
Wait,
I would love to
I don't think
wait
we need to wait.
till
Like,
don't
Lily
need to
gets
wait.
here, but
I
two
call
things.
anesthesiologist.
You're just gonna.
I've made a suit of armor purely out of pigskin before.
exactly
That's true.
It shouldn't be that hard.
That's the
right.
I just
Don't
don't
look at me
want
like
to be
that, Axel.
responsible
That's why we
for
got
messing
you.
up again.
It just doesn't seem like it'd be very protective.
It wasn't, but
It
they
was
wanted
tanned first.
Yes, it was tanned,
Oh,
and they
right.
wanted the pigskin because they wanted it to bleed like all the time.
That's wild.
Does-
Cool.
Yeah,
Interesting.
What use is that?
I don't know.
All right,
Theatrics?
so Februm, you're gonna lay down right here. I'm gonna sit right by your head.
All right.
Lie down face first. Keep your back up to us.
Face first.
And
I conjure some leatherworking tools for my all-purpose tool.
I love this so much.
scalpel.
See, I know in some systems, like, there are penalties for certain situational things, such as, like, not being in the right environment and not having the right tools and not having expertise.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Alrighty then.
Woo!
What is
I'm
the
gonna pull my
DC?
scarf up like it's a
I need
mask.
to know what the DC on this is.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a collective DC.
Uh,
Argue profession or performance.
if you're not actually putting it on, then yes.
what is everyone specifically doing to help in this endeavor? Axel is going to supply some healing. That is his purpose there.
I think Al will do the physical sewing and the
And
physical
I'll do
putting together.
the magical putting together. I'll do that
Yeah.
programming.
Could I?
Try and get the magic to mix. You just lie there and look pretty.
What could I do? Yeah. I wanna do something to try to help.
Bite down on
but-
this towel, Februm.
So, like, Februm, you have done a lot of the prep work already. So the implant is prepared to be attached to your body.
I feel like there's no way you can be actively participating in
I know.
surgery.
Yeah.
I feel like what you have provided for this check is the preparation. That will help mitigate the fact that you don't have the tools or the environment or the expertise.
Or really anything that we need except the eye
Right.
stock.
Right.
Alrighty.
Yep.
Alright,
Okay.
let's do it.
Al, go ahead and make a leatherworker's check for me.
Wonderful.
Zephyr, go ahead and make just a flat charisma check. So just your spellcasting check.
Let's go.
Uh,
Please use any bonuses you still have.
If you
I
yeah,
don't
before
have
people
any.
roll, do you have any bardics? Do you have?
Oh, I'll give Al a bardic.
Okay.
Uh,
Mine's a reaction, so.
Perfect. You can buff each other.
Mm.
Do you want to give Axel a bardic as well?
oh, can I have more than one person with a bardic up?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll give Axel a bardic.
You could give out all of your bardics in less than a minute, and then they just sit around for 10 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. I'll give one to Februm, in case he needs it.
Just a little
Is-
pat on
was
the head.
Was Feloy helping, or is he not here right now?
You didn't ask Feloy because he is like daydreaming.
That's what I
Wistful
thought. Okay.
man.
So everyone gets
Um,
bardic.
Would it be possible for like me to use the eye in some way to like
So the
like,
eye is going to be
magically
helpful.
mark?
I already know what check I'm going to
Okay.
have you make.
Oh.
Okay.
You're going to make a con,
con
save.
save? Yep.
Yeah.
What buff? What buff did you give me, Al?
As I'm kind of going through and putting the whatever. Hold on.
I love that the idea that his flash of genius is, no, don't do that!
Wait.
Hold on.
Zephyr, what's your bardic at right now? Is it a D10 or is it a D12?
It is a D10 currently.
Awesome.
I think one more level and it goes up.
As I'm putting the eye stock in, I'll I'm putting in, and then I see like a little vein that is kind of weird. I'm like, oh, this seems like it should go here. And I don't know, it's like a magic
Inside.
vein or something.
Oh,
And that's
a
my
magic vein. This is where the magic blood goes.
This is where the biological creature makes its natural magic, and I'm just gonna plug this into here, and that'll be how I give you my
Like you're wiring a car.
like a wiring a
Mana
car.
pool, if you will.
This is like he's connecting the humors type
Exactly.
medicine.
And that is my flash of genius for you. That is +5.
+5. Okay. That's a lot better then. Not great. Probably not gonna work.
I mean,
But
Yeah, but it's a total check.
that puts me at 17.
Huh.
Okay,
Not bad.
17. Al, what'd you get on your check?
32.
32.
Ooh,
Wow.
not quite. That's not,
Not
quite
quite.
a 50. Sorry,
Ooh,
friends.
Do I have a bardic?
You do.
I think you do.
I
I
do?
think everyone was
Okay.
given a bardic.
Can I also to reduce, this is just a bit, to reduce swelling, can I take a bottle out of the bag of colding and just press it up against it?
That's not what it does, but you can do it.
You can do it. Februm starts to go into shock.
The DC for your con save just went up.
Oh boy.
Februm, you were as
gonna-
as this surgery begins, you are in so much pain that you don't even notice that there's an ice cold bottle of booze
Oh, good.
up against your neck.
Unrelated. I'm using
Use the liquor
Indomitable.
to sterilize it.
Why did you
Just-
sterilize the bottle?
Oh, no.
Just unrelated.
Putting his body through
Totally
it.
unrelated.
Oh, that's better. Okay. I'm on the D10. Beautiful. I got a 30 exactly.
30 on your con save.
Oh,
Yep.
sorry. The DC was 80.
99.
So I think y'all are
What's
fine.
Axel doing?
Axel is pumping in some healing to you.
Okay.
To help keep you conscious, but also maintain your blood loss. The surgery starts, and he's sitting by your head, like, so you're like face down. He's like got his hands like on either side of your head, giving you some like healing magic, helping keeping you conscious. But Zephyr and Al, as the surgery starts beginning, he goes pale white.
Oh.
And there's just a as Al is like stitching into the stump on Februm's back, this like eye stalk, and it's not pretty. Al, your stitch work is beautiful. You were not used to working with live skin per se. But with you work very quickly, Al, and your stitch work is beautiful. Zephyr, you panic a little bit at the beginning as Februm starts to lose blood, and you are tapping into the magic around you. And as you do, you realize that Axel is actually taking some of the particles away from you to do his healing. He's not consciously aware of it, but as you activate the programming, there becomes this kind of split for a second where he's taking particles to heal and you're attempting to take particles to accurately, like, essentially enchant this stock to work with Februm's body. But Al gives you a bit of flash of genius, kind of pulls your attention back in, and with your combined efforts and Februm, like almost biting through his tongue.
Holding on.
By dear life.
No. Ow. Make sure you connect the magic vein.
The what?
Get the magic vein.
That
You're the one
vein
that-
right there. It's the magic vein.
You're the one that told me
that doesn't
about it.
exist.
There's
You
so
told
much
me about it
blood.
like 2 minutes ago. What are you
Why-
talking about?
talking about?
Why is there so
Next
much
to the body's
blood?
mana pool.
Axel, stay with me. Stay with me. Look at me. Look at me, Axel, not the blood.
Okay, I'm focusing. Oh my
Okay.
god.
Look at me. Look at me. I'm not even looking at the stitching at this point. I'm just like,
His-
hey,
his
Axel, are
eyes
you
are like-
okay?
His eyes are like
Trouble in
probably
Febrim's mouth. He needs to bite down on something.
Oh, jeez. I just put my hand in front of his mouth and stick my finger in
Oh
his
boy.
Big metal
Metal.
chomper.
What a sight, truly.
I would like to say that Octavia has tuned in via Perseus. And
Oh, I
she-
mean, this is loud. This isn't quiet by any means.
No,
Well,
they're being
you-
loud, but Octavia's like tuned in visually via
Oh, yeah.
Perseus.
Yeah,
And
Perseus
she-
is just like perched up somewhere, like
On
head cocked
Axel's
a little
head.
bit.
Axel, not Axel, but Perseus is doing one of these. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Octavia back with the girl squad is like, you don't want to know.
Perseus definitely does the like that cat thing where they look in in the doorway and just like stare at you. Like, are you gonna do anything about this?
Yeah, Octavia kind of looks at him and is like, telepathically, she's like, what do you want me to do? Like, this is what he wants, and clearly things are happening beyond my control. Would I just like stand and like put my hand in the way and then get my hand sewn to his back? Like, what do you want from me?
You're right. You're right. Perseus just like slowly turns back.
All right, so you should regain feeling. You should actually gain feeling in the tentacle in like 3 days. The string that I used should be biodegradable. And
Should be.
Okay.
um,
All right.
In the middle of you talking, the eye just and then like looks at you. And then
feel-
Fidget,
I am using knowledge that I only gained over 1 semester, so I didn't do very well in that class.
Time may vary, I suppose.
Anyways, I guess it should be good now.
How how does this look from it like with my senses?
there is this fuzzy awareness you now have as you're like lying like face down. You suddenly are like kind of aware of the people around you. Even though you can't see them, like you know Alice right there, you know Februm is over there, Axel's directly in front of you. And it doesn't seem like the visual receptors are necessarily connected, but as your eye, your third eye, kind of realizes that there's this new biological component attached to you, you feel this quick shot of almost electricity running through your body as the eye makes contact with the stalk itself. I am happy to say that with the 3 of them, mostly thanks to Al, you hit 61.
Oh.
So the eye is functional, and we're not running into any major complications. And Februm, you are still conscious and not physically exhausted from this endeavor. Doing pretty well. But Februm, just for you to know, and I might finagle this later.
Okay.
But I know that at least once a long rest, you get to use a random eye ray.
Fallen.
And your passive perception is going to go up a little bit. I'm not sure by how much right now. It'll be somewhere between like 2 and 5.
Okay. What's the? Is it matching the DC of the beholder that we got it from?
Yeah, we'll just keep it like the static beholder DC for the eye rays.
Okay. Cool.
Hey,
But yeah.
buddy. How you feeling?
I feel like he's definitely still recovering regardless. And like Zephyr says that and the eye stalk just like moves towards him.
Makes like the
That's
bottle
a good
crack noise.
sign.
He's gonna like slowly get up. Well, can't say it was less than I was expecting. Very painful, but
Did we
You
do
know.
everything right? Do we need to do we need to take it off and put it back on, or
let's not do that. It seems like my third eye is connected
So you have
efficiently enough
four
with
now.
the
Your fourth eye.
fourth eye.
Haha, 4 eyes.
You can wear glasses.
That's 6 eyes.
That's fair. That's fair. The goggles too. Yeah. I think it'll take some time to adjust, but I think all went well.
I had no doubts.
I did. I'm gonna be real with you. Full disclosure, did not think that was gonna work.
I know you. I'm sure you did fantastically, Zephyr. Not.
But you know who really made a difference here was Axel.
Yeah, Axel.
Mhm.
He probably would have died.
Axel
if you didn't
hasn't
come help us.
moved. He is just like his gaze is just stuck on where Februm used to be.
Axel, buddy.
Is there a lot of
Come on.
blood just like on the bed?
Oh, for sure.
He like follows his gaze to it.
Like I will say, like Februm, like even though like you maintain consciousness and you're not physically exhausted by
Oh,
like
yeah.
rules as written, you lost a good amount of blood and you're feeling a
Mhm.
little woozy.
Yeah.
You don't want to look there. Neither one of you. Let's go join the
fair.
others. I'll burn this bed, so we don't have to see it anymore, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
It's-
I burn
it's
it?
beyond saving. Yes, you can, buddy.
Axel just like reaches out his hand and it sparks ablaze.
We'll let
The
that sit
fire
there.
reflects in his eyes a little bit. It's like,
Axel,
Ah,
let's go hang out with everyone else, and we'll talk about this later in therapy.
haven't been to that.
Neither have I, but Lord knows we'll probably need it.
I have.
Lloyd?
It's
Has
like,
your-
Al. Let's also not tell Iris about this. Or Win.
I'm sure she knows.
Oh, we could hear.
Just like sitting
every-
across on the other side of the room.
It's just like from it's like
I'm-
because it's a big circular room. So the girls were having their little thing. Feloy was in the center like room with the telescope, and the boys were on the other side.
As soon as
Everything
Octavia
good.
says
So
we
it's
heard
like,
everything,
there
Zephyr's
is-
face cranks around with just pure fear in his eyes.
It's not
Facing
quieted
them.
even a little bit.
No.
I
You
like
know-
to think it's like the rotunda, like where you can talk on one side of the room and it carries as it reflects. So it's like exactly the right volume.
Yeah, and Octavia's like, you could have like, I don't know, cast silence and spared us all the horror, but
Well,
But
we had
then
some
how would
people
we
casting
communicate
about magic
spells,
there?
and we need communication.
Yeah.
It's just,
I really had to concentrate
verbal components.
yeah.
there's like
You-
general murmur of like,
Octavia, it is in this moment that you fully realize that Iris is not making any sound.
turns to look at
And
Iris.
she's just like been in this little silence bubble. It just like it shimmers lightly. She's just been like munching away on her food completely like
Octavia like will raise her finger and like try to get her attention and be like, "They're done."
oh yes, they got started and
No, I don't blame you. Kind of
That's fair,
wish I was
yes.
capable of that, but we can't all be special, so.
what can I say?
We can't all be special. The like chosen warrior of the Silanovni is not special.
Oh no.
She's like so used to being like this casual, like everyday, like I don't know, just like kind of thief person that sometimes she's just like it doesn't register. It's just like chieftain, warlock. She's just like yeah. Anyways, so Februm, you seem to be fine. That wasn't a joke.
And I wasn't talking to you.
Well, noise aside, I think everything went relatively according to plan.
You're just gonna sleep on your
I
stomach for a few
I
days?
think we did a pretty good job.
I mean, I usually sleep on my side anyways. I've got tentacles. so-
Alright, so we're just
Octavia, as you're like talking to Februm, the eye just kind of like creeps up a little bit. And so that it's like looking at you from right next to his head.
I hate this. She's
So
just
Februm,
kind
do
of
you
like
just like see triple now?
It's my pure senses, I suppose, for it hasn't fully recovered. So it's hard to tell what exactly I'll be experiencing until later. I don't believe I'll be able to see out of it, suppose like a regular eye, but definitely some senses have been boosted.
good, interesting. Well, I'm gonna go to bed. She's just been like making uncomfortable eye contact with the eye stalk.
It's just going like back and forth between his head. And his...
It like can sense whoever's looking at it, so it just like keeps darting between the people looking directly at the stalk.
Hey, my eyes are left here.
I imagine it's like when you have like Discord on like the one picture and it just like defaults to whoever's talking, so the image like switches all the time.
Absolutely.
It just
Oh.
See, what's scary is when it suddenly focuses very intently on something that nobody else is like nearby. That's what's
Yeah.
Yeah, it just darts to a corner of the room randomly
and just like stares.
and then darts back.
Like, oh god.
What are you looking at there, bud?
It-
Just turns to look at you.
riveting, truly riveting. But I do think I need to rest. The rest of you figure out shifts. Februm might want to rest instead of taking a shift.
Probably
Yeah.
fair.
Good night. Wake me if calamity arises. and she will promptly roll out her bedroll somewhere that's not quite so sandy.
Of course. Yeah. Is everyone else kind of heading to bed as well?
Yeah. I mean, I take first shift, but
I'll go too.
Alrighty. Everyone makes their way to bed. Feloy, do you eventually join the group?
Probably not before they sleep. He'll probably just like rest in that little telescope area.
You end up just kind of like...
I think he just like poses like with his arms behind his back, like looking up.
You were essentially daydreaming until you...
And then like drifts off, like the equivalent of like just drifting off to sleep.
Yeah, but just drifting off into like comprehensive thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alrighty. Who's taking watches?
I can go third because I'll be rested.
Cool. Whoever going first, make me a perception check, if you would.
that's a 10.
Yeah. Februm, not Februm, Zephyr. Your watch seems to be going by pretty uneventfully. A little bit of a sandstorm kicks up outside. Nothing too serious. But just enough to kind of get some sand moving. It kind of blocks your vision. And you know, most things probably aren't going to be able to see you in this storm either, so there's not too much to worry about. You do kind of like think back to like working with the particles and stuff with Februm, and seeing how it reacts to other people pulling on the magic and how the particles are kind of drawn to people as they cast and as they use abilities. And you feel the primordial shard in your pocket, just kind of lightly buzzing. Kind of radiates a little bit of warmth. But if there isn't anything else you want to do, your watch goes by uneventfully.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else I can or want to do.
Gotcha. Alrighty. Second watch.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Cool.
Perception check.
I'll use a flash of genius because I got them. That'll be a 10.
No.
There's a little bit of sand being kicked up from the outside. You wiping off your tools and stuff, getting everything nice and clean and prepared. You know, blood has a tendency to rust things, and that's the last thing you want to run into out here.
Yeah.
Not sure when the next time you're going to be able to find good tools.
Oh, these tools just kind of meld in and out. Yeah.
Well, but like
yeah.
you don't want to get the
You
rust
gotta
on the
take care
melded
of
bit.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. The enchantment only does so much.
Of course.
You know a good worksman by his tools. But other than that, you kind of glance over, and it doesn't seem to be anything like extreme and stuff. But you do notice that through most of your watch, Februm, Octavia, and as Zephyr falls asleep, seem to be pretty restless.
Nuts. I don't know if there's anything I can do about that. So I
Sing me a
will.
lullaby, Grandpa.
I will sing, and no, I won't.
Make an insight check.
Foiled again.
Oh, I'll use
I just
another
want
flash
Drew
of
to sing for us,
genius
that's it.
because I have it.
Because I can.
You said insight.
Mm-hmm.
Where's insight? where's- 13. I'm gonna. Do I still have that? I do. I'll use my other martial adept maneuver, tactical assessment,
Okay.
to add a d6 to that.
That's crazy.
Got a 16.
I have to tactically assess their emotional state right now.
They're like super restless, and I'm like, this is weird.
How could I
This is a little
tactically
bit of a
exploit this in
boost.
It's the
combat?
first time you guys have had
Exactly.
beds in like 3 days.
You kind of give them a quick glance over, just to make sure there's nothing like physically wrong with them or anything like that. And you kind of come to the conclusion that they're having some like nightmares, probably.
Yeah,
Sure we are.
me too. And I'll go to sleep.
Alrighty. Feloy, final watch for you.
30.
You
Fair.
stare into the distance. You see a handful of large constructs that seem to be meandering about, kind of going in between the towers. There's definitely a kind of tense moment where one of these like giant-sized constructs seems to be heading in the direction of this tower. You kind of hold your breath for a moment as it makes a sharp left, continuing on some pre-programmed path that doesn't seem to include the area that y'all are currently in.
Cool.
With a 30, you're also noticing that like Februm, Octavia, and Zephyr are like restless and seem to be having some kind of nasty nightmares. There is a worry in the back of your head that depending on how like they're able to deal with these nightmares, they may not be able to get a long night's rest.
Should I like... I could wake them, I guess. Do I get the impression it's cause of the shards?
Go ahead and
Would
make
that
an
be a
Arcana, Arcana check for me.
Arcana. I do have proficiency, so that's 18, and I'll use this built for success thing that I completely forgot about. So 20.
Sweet. It does seem to be connected to the shard in some way. Each of them, it's hard to tell from a distance, but as you kind of like get close, and as someone who is like very experienced with magic, each shard is kind of like lightly pulsing as if they're all connected.
I think if he thinks it's because of the shards, then like interrupting their nightmare isn't gonna help them. So he kind of just monitors them to make sure there's not like any drastic.
Understood. Before everyone wakes up,
Yeah.
Februm, Octavia, and Zephyr, I need you all to make wisdom saving throws. Please and thank you.
Oh, that's the
Wisdom.
not good thing.
Why whiz? That makes me upset.
Oh.
Because
Charisma?
wisdom. It's wisdom.
How about Dex?
So sorry, everyone.
17.
Oh, it was great anyway.
17,
15?
15.
Could've been worse.
Oh no, that's not looking good, Octavia.
I rolled a nat 1.
Oh.
Oh no. Okay. First of all, your entire night's rest is racked by miserable nightmares. You are constantly on the run from an entity that you're not 100% sure of what it is. You pass by family members, close friends, members of your party, desperately doing what you can to save each person that you pass. But none of your efforts are enough, but you just keep running because you know it's the only thing that you can keep doing. Octavia and Februm, you both, first of all, take 10 points of psychic damage each as you are jolted awake in the morning. But more importantly, neither of you gain the benefits of a long rest.
Yeah.
Zephyr, the dreams get to you. You have these nightmares, but you were able to find your anchor. Your mind, even in this astral dream state, is able to hone in and realize that these dreams are artificial. They're being implanted into your mind. And at that last moment where the effects are trying to take your stamina and pull it away from you, you're able to wake yourself and escape the worst of it.
Let's go. Guys, that bitch is trying to make us lucid dream.
As you all wake up, Philoy, you notice that the moment they wake up, the shards dim down. And Octavia and Februm, you are not exhausted in the mechanic standpoint,
I'm
but
still exhausted.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Still exhausted. I'm annoyed. Of all the times to roll in that one, that's probably not the worst of them, but I'm annoyed.
Any kind of magic way we can get rid of exhaustion?
Greater restoration.
Really?
Yep. Unless the exhaustion is caused by something that specifically states you can't use greater restoration.
Or
you-
Axel's thing.
Or like Axel's thing, which Axel's exhaustion after he uses wish twice can't be reduced in any way other than time and sleep. There's a couple other effects that say like not short of a wish spell. But for the most part, like just general exhaustion can be healed with it's 1 level per casting of greater restoration.
Octavia wakes up with a start, and then she's like, Winnie, do you have something that can help me, please? I'm very tired. I don't know. I just assume that that's the character who has greater restoration.
Yeah.
She does. And then Axel has his like little boosts that grant greater restoration as well.
Just like walks over to Winnie and like face plants at her shoulder, like, please.
Yeah. That'll be. We'll get Winnie's input on that when she returns with us. But yeah, the day is new. Februm.
I think Februm's gonna like shoots awake, kind of with a headache. He's like really groggy. He it's like really slow getting up. I think he's just gonna reach into his bag and pull out a basic potion of healing and just like coffee. Just walking around.
Pops
drinking
the
it like
cork.
coffee. It's like, what a morning.
I would not want to suggest that they be taken from you, but perhaps someone else could carry the shards at night, at least. Occasionally.
I don't think that.
Oh, this is definitely Rutha's doing.
Rutha, yes.
Yeah.
With the communicational powers of the construct shard.
Well, if that is the case, then, and you need to rest, then someone else carrying it might help you.
I need to not be holding this when I try to steal the construct shard from Rutha.
That's true.
That is also true.
She like pulls it out of her pocket and then like looks at the rest of them.
We've
See,
already
I
talked
need
about
to be
this.
holding this.
Ow.
We've already talked about this.
We have,
Yeah.
and I decided that you need to hold the material shard.
Material girl.
Because you're a
Material girl.
Ow, please. Ow.
I
Ow, love. Please, Granddad.
Is there any
Please.
particular reason why you're not wanting to take it, Al, if I may ask?
I guess I can't use Ned as an excuse anymore.
No.
Ned's
I'm-
chill.
Honestly, I'm scared of what will happen if I hold it and things have never gone right when somebody's life is in my hands.
Counterpoint. Like, Ferbrum's life was very much in your hands yesterday, and look at him now.
I think it went perfectly.
Yeah, not to like,
That was a very controlled
not to
scenario.
disprove your feelings, but someone's life was in your hands.
Yes.
More
And
so
I knew
yours
exactly
than mine.
what I was. But I guess what I'm getting at is I was able to plan that out. I don't trust myself when it comes to spur of the moment decisions.
No good gambler does, so I get what you're saying. However,
I hate to say it, Al, but we're all going to be in charge of one of these eventually. This would be a more controlled environment than, say, if we happen to grab one in the middle of battle and you're the only one who can take it.
So at least for the moment, you can kind of see how you're doing, and if truly you don't think you are capable of holding on to it, you could, say, give it to Winnie before the battle starts.
Yes.
Al, I wanted you to have the material shard specifically because I trust you. I'm sorry that you don't think that you're worthy of that trust, but I believe in you.
I appreciate that. I guess it can't hurt to try. See what happens.
I mean, you gave it the good old college
Plus-
try, you know, going to college and...
Yeah. I guess I
Plus,
did.
I don't know if this helps at all. But Axel and I are actively trying to make the most uncontrolled scenario possible. So, when you look at it, this is worst case scenario. You handle this, you can handle anything.
I'm going to ignore what Zephyr said.
That's
and,
wise, I typically do.
just let's see what happens.
Plus, I mean, Al, all things
I thought it was
considered,
helpful.
we've kind of been protecting each other this whole journey. And save a couple instances, his eyes are like locked on to you, but you see the stock kind of slowly drift towards Zephyr. Look back. We've been quite successful so far. So, you saying, I know we all have things that we're working on, but you've been a great protector.
Thank you.
Octavia will hold the shard out as like a handshake motion almost, like she's gonna clap her hands with his.
And I'll take it.
There is an immediate surge of energy that pumps through your body. You feel revitalized and younger than you felt in a while. Though your age doesn't physically change,
Aw.
you feel the magic of an entire plane of existence fill you for a moment.
It's kind of like
Before-
a puzzle box.
It's kind of like a puzzle box, isn't it?
Before your mind gets used to it and it fades to just a dull buzz in the back of your head.
Doing
Do I need-
okay?
To attune to this.
You can't
Okay.
attune to it.
No, it
Nope.
attunes to you.
I see. Okay.
So
It tunes to you.
No, attuning to it would require you to be a god that is biologically connected to it.
Okay.
Guys, this is gonna throw
All
Rutha
right.
through a loop if she tries to talk to us again.
I feel
Who is this guy?
much
Who's this
better.
bitch?
Wait, is that the corpse that was running around with their arms flailing during the siege?
Oh my god.
No, that was my son.
Oh,
Oh.
fair.
No, I
You
was
look
the
similar.
I was the corpse flailing around when we were in Febrim's house.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Octavia kind of stretches and she's like, well, no time like the present. I think we all know it needs to be done. And the order in which it needs to be done is a little chaotic, but I think that's the nature of the plan.
What better way to combat the Shard of Order?
The plan can't go
Then
wrong if
with
we don't know what the
chaos.
plan
than with
contains.
Chaos.
So how far are we now?
It is probably like just over a half day's journey.
Okay.
So yeah, if you left now, you'd hit there at Lunaris's highest point in the sky.
Cool.
Then I believe we could go.
Lovely.
Feloy, that you were looking at some sort of telescope. I only saw it briefly. Is there any way that we could like use that to check on their positions at all, perhaps?
Well, it's oriented toward the sky, and it's rather delicate machinery. I don't think it would be prudent to try and reorient it to surface level.
She kind of looks over at Zephyr very slowly.
What?
Well, there's someone here who, I don't know, does some weird freaky thing with magic and then it somehow just like works for him.
Fair. Yeah.
I mean,
I can
it
give
might
a
risk
shot.
the integrity of the telescope, but I think it might be worth it if we could have a little bit of knowing what we're getting into, perhaps?
Well, we can try it, but I don't know how much better our vision would be.
You're just like seeing into the distance? Because I'm not capable of that. I can see like 120 feet.
I've installed somewhat telescopic glassware in my eyes, so I can see quite far.
Well then, maybe we need not risk the waste of magic. Please sit up front with me then. We should need you to take as much advantage of the front windshield as you can.
Right?
Piling in the Tide Strider for the millionth time.
Hop it in.
Everyone hops into the Tide Strider. The engines rev. Feloy, you point the group in the direction of the constructed entrance. The pinnacle of where the constructed plane used to connect directly to the material plane. And where all of you know the Eclipse and Rutha await. And with that, I think we're going to end the episode here for tonight.
Mm-hmm.
That is a really nice spot, especially so we can try to have our beautiful, beautiful cleric with us next week for all of the fun, chaotic shenanigans.
Oh.
Oh. Rip.
Oh, crap. You're not going to be here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
on a plane. Can you imagine me trying to
Whoa.
play D&D on the plane? Guys, I'm rolling. I've got like a crowd.
It's okay. It's okay. It's just the one little light from above.
No.
Well,
We'll figure out what we're
we'll figure
doing.
out something.
Mm-hmm.
Figure it out.
Because we've also gotta talk schedule and stuff anyway. So
Indeed.
we shall figure anything out. But that is a problem for future us. For right now, thank you all for joining us tonight. Hope you had a good time. I know I did. I hope all my players did as well. Julia?
Hey, drinking water is really good for you. Did you know that if you don't drink enough water while being sick, sometimes you have to go to urgent care and get 2 bags of IV fluids injected in your arm? I know now. So drinking water is very important for your entire body's ecosystem, and I will talk about this till the day I die. Hydrate or dihydrate. Actually, quite literally, please drink water.
I need to go get myself a cup after this.
Literally, me too. I'm like,
Dane, anything from you?
Nothing new. Getting a little bit closer to figuring out iTunes. For some reason, Apple Podcast just wants to infinite login loop me, so if anyone knows a fix to that, would be awesome. But aside from that, we're up to date on everything, so you have other places to watch us on YouTube, on Spotify, and then hopefully soon, Amazon Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. I'm gonna put us on a bunch of things once I figure it out.
Let's go.
Doing all the
Thank
work.
you, Dane.
Big round of applause for Dane. He's working so hard, doing all the fun stuff for us. Thank you. Anyone else got anything they want to talk about or interject? Well, then we will see you next time. Thanks for joining us tonight, and have a good one, y'all.